Some love is built on reasons. We love when we receive, when we're comforted, when life feels good. But the deepest kind of love doesn't wait for a reason. It flows naturally, without condition, without calculation. It's a love that asks for nothing in return, yet gives everything. That is the love our soul longs to give to God, not because we need something, not because we're afraid, but simply because He exists, and our hearts were made to be drawn to Him. There comes a moment in life when we grow tired of transactional relationships, even in our faith. We start to ask ourselves, am I only turning to God because I want something? Am I only grateful when things go right? Real love begins when we say, even if I have nothing, I still choose you. That is the kind of love that brings peace beyond reason, joy beyond understanding. It's a love that's not driven by fear or need, but by truth and surrender. This love isn't blind. It sees pain, confusion, and difficulty, but loves anyway. It looks at the silence and still believes. It accepts the delays and keeps holding on. When a person loves God without needing a reason, they don't depend on signs or blessings to keep their heart steady. Their connection runs deeper. It's not about what they receive, it's about who they become in that love. Their soul softens. To love God without reason is to say, I'm here, not for what you give, but because of who you are. It is the highest form of worship, born not from obligation, but from a longing that cannot be explained. This love doesn't need proof. It doesn't demand constant comfort. It stays, it grows, it gives back even when it feels empty. And in that giving, it becomes whole. Many people wait for a sign, for a miracle, for something to push them toward love. But the purest love doesn't wait. It simply begins. In that quiet inward beginning, everything changes. Life may still be uncertain, struggles may still come, but the heart becomes rooted in something eternal. Loving God without a reason isn't about losing your mind, it's about freeing your soul. And when your soul is free, peace will follow, no matter what life brings. True love begins when you no longer seek a reason to love, when your heart is drawn without conditions. This kind of love doesn't ask, what will I get in return? It doesn't depend on comfort, reward, or certainty. It is pure because it comes from the soul, not from desire. Most of the time, our love is shaped by outcomes. We love when we feel supported. We love when things go our way. But real love, the kind that changes you, is born when none of these things are present, yet your heart still leans in. When you love God without needing a reason, your connection becomes deeper and more honest. You're not looking for blessings to prove His care. You're not waiting for life to feel perfect before you offer your heart. You're simply loving because it feels right, because your soul recognizes something beyond what your eyes can see. This kind of love is rare, but it is the strongest. It doesn't fade when tests come. It doesn't waver when things fall apart. Instead, it becomes even stronger in silence and struggle. To reach this level of love, you have to let go of conditions. Let go of asking, why is this happening to me? And instead trust that even in pain there is purpose. Let go of thinking, I'll love when I feel more secure, and instead love through the uncertainty. The more you love without needing anything in return, the more peaceful your heart becomes. You are no longer chasing. You are no longer waiting. You are simply being present, trusting, and connected. This love doesn't mean you stop hoping or praying. It means your faith isn't built only on what happens, it's built on who God is. You begin to love the way a child loves, a love that is pure, full, and alive. And from that place, your heart finds rest. There's no pressure to perform, no anxiety about outcomes, just love. Flowing from you to the one who created you. And when you love like this, everything changes, not because the world becomes perfect, but because your heart finally knows what it means to be free. Loving God without reason means trusting even when life doesn't make sense. There are moments in life when everything feels confusing. Plans fall apart, prayers go unanswered, and the future becomes uncertain. In those times, it's easy to ask why. It's natural to wonder if you're being seen, if you're being heard. But the heart that truly loves doesn't wait for answers to keep trusting. It keeps believing, not because everything is clear, but because that love is rooted in something deeper than logic. When you choose to love God without needing everything to make sense, you step into a new kind of peace. You begin to understand that faith is not always about having explanations. Sometimes it's simply about saying, I don't understand, but I still trust. That is real strength. That is love. And that is when you start to feel the quiet comfort of a connection that doesn't depend on easy days or perfect outcomes. This kind of trust doesn't grow overnight. It comes through experience, through standing firm even when you feel lost, through whispering prayers in the dark and believing someone hears you. And over time, that trust becomes a part of you. You stop needing to figure everything out. You stop trying to control every moment. You simply walk forward with the quiet belief that there is meaning even when it's hidden from your view. Loving God without needing a reason means holding on through the silence. It means not giving up when you don't feel anything, when everything around you feels still or broken. It means your love isn't based on how easy life is, it's based on your commitment, your surrender, and your faith. And when you love like that, something powerful happens. You stop fearing the unknown. You stop needing constant signs. You simply walk in trust. This love brings a calm that nothing else can. Because even when life is hard, your heart is steady. Even when things don't go your way, your soul is strong. And that's when you realize trusting without needing a reason is the most beautiful form of love. It's the love that lasts, it's the love that frees, and it's the love that brings you closest to the one who has always been with you. Unconditional love for the Creator brings peace because it frees you from expectations. Most people carry silent expectations when they turn to God, expecting a quick solution, a specific outcome, or an answer that matches their hopes. And when those expectations aren't met, the heart becomes restless, even disappointed. But when you choose to love without demands, without setting conditions on what should happen, you discover something rare, inner peace that doesn't depend on anything outside of you. This kind of peace begins when you stop saying, "I'll be okay if this works out," and instead say, "I'll be okay because I trust." The pressure to have everything go your way fades. The fear of the unknown lessens, and the weight of needing life to be perfect slowly lifts off your shoulders. That's what unconditional love does. It allows you to accept what is without always needing to understand or control it. When you love God without expecting something in return, your heart becomes lighter. You're no longer praying only for answers. You're praying to feel connected. You're not worshiping to earn something. You're doing it because it brings you closer to peace. And this connection grows stronger when you give it space to be real, honest, and free of demands. This doesn't mean you stop dreaming or hoping. It simply means your happiness isn't tied to whether your plans succeed or fail. Your love isn't built on results, it's built on trust. And from that trust comes a calm that stays, even in the middle of chaos. The world may shift, life may test you, but your foundation stays solid. Because your peace doesn't come from outside, it lives inside in your relationship with the one who never leaves. Unconditional love is not weakness, it's strength. It says, even if I don't get what I ask for, I still believe you are with me. That kind of love calms the heart, clears the mind, and opens the door to a peace that cannot be shaken. And in that peace, you begin to understand loving without expectations doesn't mean having less. It means being free, it means being whole. It means knowing that no matter what comes or goes, your heart is at rest because your love is true. When you love God beyond benefits, your soul rises above fear, doubt, and loss. Most people come to faith looking for comfort, protection, and solutions. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the moment your love grows deeper than what you can receive, something shifts inside you. You begin to connect with the Creator, not just to fix your life, but to lift your soul. Your focus changes from what you want to what truly matters: closeness, purpose, and peace. Fear often controls us when our love is tied to results. We fear losing blessings. We worry that if something goes wrong, we've been forgotten. But when your love becomes pure, when you love simply because God is worthy of it, fear loses its grip. You stop asking, what if things fall apart, and instead believe, even if they do, I'm not alone. That quiet trust becomes your shield. It keeps your heart strong when life shakes your ground. Doubt also fades in the presence of selfless love. It's easy to question everything when your prayers seem unanswered. But when your love for God isn't built on receiving something, your faith becomes unshakable. You no longer need constant signs to believe. You no longer question His nearness in silence. You just know. You feel it in your calm, in your ability to endure, in the way your heart still turns toward light, even in the dark. And loss, though painful, doesn't destroy you. You feel it, but it doesn't empty you, because your soul is rooted in something beyond temporary things. Your connection with the Creator doesn't break when life changes, it deepens. It teaches you that nothing in this world is permanent, but divine love is. And the one who holds onto that love walks through storms with strength others can't explain. When your love for God rises above benefit, it becomes your safe place. You're no longer shaken by every hardship. You're no longer afraid of what tomorrow brings. Your soul stands taller, your eyes see clearer, and your heart beats with a deeper peace. That kind of love doesn't just carry you, it transforms you. It makes you stronger than fear, steadier than doubt, and more alive than ever before. This kind of love isn't based on reward, it's based on deep inner connection and surrender. Many people associate love with outcomes. They feel love when they receive something in return, when life gives them what they hope for. But the purest form of love goes beyond this exchange. It doesn't wait for rewards. It doesn't depend on answered prayers or perfect days. It comes from a space within the heart where the soul recognizes its source. And that recognition turns into quiet devotion. When someone loves God without expecting anything back, their relationship becomes real. It's not about performing for blessings or following rules just to avoid pain. It's about feeling close, even when nothing around them changes. That connection isn't built on words alone. It's built on moments of stillness, reflection, and surrender. It grows in silence when no one else sees. It deepens in struggles when the soul turns inward and finds peace in simply being near the divine. Surrender plays a powerful role in this love. It means letting go of your need to control, to predict, to understand everything. It means saying, even if I don't see where this is going, I trust you. This surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. It's a choice to live from the heart, not from fear. And that choice brings a calm that no outside reward can ever match. The one who loves in this way doesn't chase blessings, they become a blessing. Their presence is peaceful. Their eyes reflect trust. Their actions carry gentleness. They're not living for what they can gain. They're living for the beauty of the bond they've built with their Creator. That bond gives them direction, purpose, and resilience. And over time, they come to realize something powerful. Love that's free of reward becomes its own reward. The peace it brings, the strength it nurtures, the clarity it gives, these are gifts far greater than anything temporary. This kind of love can't be shaken by life's changes because it was never built on those things. It was built on something eternal, something deeper than words. And in that depth, the soul finally feels what it's been searching for all along: real connection, real freedom, real love. To love God without reason is to love from the soul, not the ego. The ego always asks for something in return. It wants recognition, reward, and comfort. It loves conditionally. It gives only when it receives. But the soul speaks a different language. It doesn't love because of gain or fear. It loves because it was created to. This is the love that comes without effort, the kind that flows naturally when the noise of the world grows quiet and the heart is still. When you love from the soul, your love is pure. It's not influenced by success or failure. It's not measured by how easy or hard life becomes. It simply exists, rooted deep within, untouched by external changes. This kind of love doesn't need to be proven. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't count what it's given or what it's received. It just loves for the sake of loving. And that love brings a peace the ego can never understand. The ego often creates distance between us and God by filling our hearts with conditions, doubts, and questions. It makes us ask, why should I love if I don't see results? But the soul doesn't ask that. The soul knows that love is not about results. It's about truth. The soul's love is quiet, steady, and eternal. It continues even in silence, even in confusion, even in hardship. Loving from the soul means rising above the need to always feel in control. It means accepting that sometimes you may not understand the path, but you still walk it with trust. It means your heart stays open even when life is uncertain. It means your connection with the divine becomes your anchor, not your escape. This love is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about choosing trust over fear, stillness over noise, and truth over ego. And when you do that, when you allow your soul to lead, your whole being begins to change. You feel lighter, clearer, more alive. You're no longer pulled in every direction by the world. You're centered, rooted, at peace. To love God from the soul is to love without limits. It's to return to your truest self. is to let go of the ego's demands and listen to the quiet voice inside that says, I was made for this love. And in that moment, you realize that love was always there. It was just waiting for you to remember. When you love without conditions, you begin to experience a deeper sense of connection with the divine. This kind of love doesn't come from wanting or needing. It comes from a place of fulfillment. It's a love that grows quietly, steadily, and with great power. It shifts your perspective and frees you from the pressures of life. You no longer need to chase fleeting desires or validate your worth through external measures. Instead, your heart finds peace in simply being. As you embrace this love, you also discover a powerful inner strength. No longer dependent on things or circumstances for validation, your love becomes a source of resilience. Even when the world around you changes, your soul remains unshaken, anchored in a love that transcends everything. You realize that the true measure of love is not what you gain, but how deeply you connect and surrender to the Creator. This love also brings freedom, the freedom to be who you are without fear, to trust without hesitation, and to walk through life knowing you are not alone. It's the freedom to love without expectations, allowing your heart to flow freely and unconditionally. In that freedom, there is a peace that cannot be disturbed, no matter the challenges you face. In the end, loving without reason is not about achieving perfection. It's about surrendering to the truth of who you are and who your Creator is. It's about loving purely, without expecting anything in return, and trusting that love will always guide you, heal you, and bring you closer to the divine. And in that pure love, you find the greatest gift of all, the peace that comes from knowing you are deeply and truly loved.